Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Okay, you saw in a video, maybe, I've uploaded it already, is the looking at the Native American tarot deck, right? So, and my first oracle deck was the Crystal Alley cards. Okay, so after watching Old Soul Mermaid, and her discussion was small deck collections, it made me think about putting how I've over the years, especially the last 3 years, with revisiting a lot of the tarot and oracle decks that I had before, is sort of bringing in actual small deck collections within my larger deck collection, if you like, and how I think about decks and themes. So, working with the Native American tarot, okay, one Native American tarot deck. Now, there's others, there's Division Quest, there's Medicine Woman, there are lots, there's another Native American tarot deck. Okay, so we're beginning with the Native American tarot. Whatever tarot deck you've decided, whether you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, there's many different Native American tarot decks that have come through for different reasons. Now, I have worked with a variety of different tarot decks. I have worked with also different oracle decks. Now, what I have narrowed it down to, I started with the Shamanic medicine cards. This was a definite must in my collection. I absolutely love these cards working with this deck. I love the colorways, I love that whole feel to them. Feels very natural, very earthy, but yet fire. It just seems to encompass all of the elements. So this is definitely a deck that I've enjoyed working with in this theme. So as a collection, I think this would make a really great selection of decks. So Native American Tarot, Shamanic medicine cards, and that be it. Okay? That's your Native American collection, themed decks. Okay? But let's sort of build on that. For me, it was an animal deck. I felt really drawn to. And there's lots of animal decks that you could use. There is actually one by Jamie Sams, which is a really cool animal medicine deck. This one here, Colette Baron Reed, which is spirit animals. But there's lots of animal decks that you could choose to work with in this one, the totem animals. So really I think it's just personal choice and what suits you. Really great selection in Native American tarot, a shamanic medicine cards, and an animal deck. What a great themed spreads, you know. I think this would be really cool. Another deck I would definitely, which I added, of course, was the Spirit of the Wheel meditation deck. Now this deck I love because of the moon phases, the plans. I reckon this is a really cool deck to work with. in many ways. And it's got some really good keywords on it. I reckon this is a really superb deck to add to the collection. So you can see this to me is you're thinking about your tarot deck, and then you're thinking about oracle decks that will actually work with that same energy, which I think is really, really important in many ways. It's not necessary, but for me it works really, really well. I mean, really I can mix and match my decks, it doesn't really matter. But for me, I do like to work in themes. Now, another deck that I've had before, I've had the original version, I now got this one here. Now, the original one actually had titles on the cards. These don't have titles, they've just got the number and then the image. And I think this is beautifully done, is the Native American Oracle cards. It's got animals, it's got tools, and it's got the gods and goddesses. So I love this deck. So it's got a lot on it, with the gods and goddesses, the tools, and the animals. Beautifully done. It's a fantastic deck. Now what I also love about this oracle deck here is in the book it does talk about timing. So you can learn a lot about timing with these cards, which is quite cool. Of course, it's a deck that you want to go into a bit more, you want to do a lot more study, you want to get a lot more out of it, is I think really, really important. I think with all these decks here, I think it's quite important to sort of, as you go through, actually do spend some quality time with it. So having a small deck collection like this, or a themed deck, might be a great way for you to start. Choose your tarot and then decide what oracle cards are going to be in that same theme. I think that would be a really great way. So in this one here, it does give you, you've got your Native American Tarot, which the guidebook has a lot of information in it. You've got the Shamanic medicine cards. Again, the guidebook has chants and things that you can work with. I think this is a really great deck to sort of dive deep into. You've got the animal deck, so you're working with the animal medicine in this card, or the animal totems, you know, whatever connection you have with the animals. I think is a great way to choose. You then have the meditation cards here, the Spirit of the Wheel. So this again talks about directions, it talks about your moon phases, your plans. It does have quite a lot of information in there as well with learning. And then the Native American Oracle deck has a lot with the animals, the gods and goddesses, and the tools. So you're covering lots of different aspects within your readings by using this combination of decks. So this could be a fantastic deck collection for you. If you're just thinking about a theme that appeals, choosing a tarot deck and several oracle decks that sort of tie in a theme on some way, a way that they could actually work together. This was just an idea or selection in the small deck collection. So this to me is sort of part one, if you like, of the series. I want to keep these videos quite short. There'll be lots of different videos coming through in this series, but this was sort of just one I wanted to sort of revisit and re-look at in some way in this collection. So this is a small deck collection number one. In choosing a theme, for me it was Native American, and then choosing the different oracle decks that could work with this deck in a theme. So that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care.